I mean, I'm just saying you could just run all the audio out of Skype and we don't even have to be here.
That's a good point. I did that once, and people are now hearing us live as we talk about the Skype issue. But yeah, I did that once. Also, TweetDeck is up. Let me not do that. See all my tweets, all my business.
All the tweets.
I mean,
you could see all the tweets if someone just went to your Twitter. So
there's that too. Granted, there may be like one or two people who may have tweeted from protected accounts. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I guess.
Anywho, but yeah, like I did that once and never really got back around to using just Skype's feed, which wasn't that bad. Maybe we could do that and actually simplify this process, but that's for another Thursday. Where we talk tech. Of course, it is Tech Talk Thursdays. I'm one of your hosts, Marcus Summers, Major Linux. I'm joined this week and hopefully every week until they get tired of me by KKS Gaming.
Hey, what's up?
Who's joining us from the astral planes?
The astral plane of Wakanda.
Is it Wakanda, or can you get to those astral planes from anywhere?
Specifically, it's in the Wakanda movie, but I mean, it could be in the Lion King, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically Wakanda.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm your resident Sinziak, who will be here every Thursday until the Thursday I decide to take a vacation, because I have got to get out of this house after this project launch at work goes down.
Hey, and I'm not gonna hold you here. That's not what I do. We miss you. Like from our first season when you went on your trek. There's definitely was. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Did we not miss it? It was an absence. It was an absence of shade detection. All of that. Like, it was just dry. It was like
shade detection.
2 weeks of just dry tech talk.
Yeah, the fan was needed a couple times.
Listen, y'all came here for the fans are here for the facts, and you were giving them the facts. It's fine. It's fine. But also, it's good to be here. It's good to be here and hang out with all of y'all.
Thank you, sir, for joining. Really, gentlemen, for joining. But let's get to it. Not a lot this week, which is great because the last 2 weeks were just whew. But we do have some big juicy stories, but we're going to start with some small stuff like, hey, TikTok is here to stay.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about how TikTok basically got saved by some deal with Walmart or nah? What is this?
Walmart and Oracle, like two companies that
seem to be at the complete opposite ends of the spectrum and way shape or form.
Way on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
And not just opposite ends of each other, but for like equally distant from TikTok itself.
It would any weird pairings would be like Halliburton and like Virgin America. Like you just like can't really? Like software engineers and a big box store? You can't make this up.
Like
you literally
Facebook
can't
and the ACLU? What?
Yeah. It's like gee whiz, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Hooray for TikTok, I guess. Like,
I guess.
And
so, what is the deal anyway? Tell us the story on that one.
So apparently, I'm gonna say that Trump got really mad because a whole bunch of TikTok users messed up his, let's just say Juneteenth rally that he was trying to have, but didn't.
Yeah.
Because, he found a heart somewhere, or I don't know what happened. He decided to move it a day. But everybody bought up tickets to that event, which apparently was so big they needed overflow. But nobody showed up to the main event to where they shut down the overflow like 2 minutes after the event started because they didn't need it.
So at this moment, we should be shouting out and thanking every single person who organized that and the K-pop stands, because I saw that whole thing happen in real time on Twitter, where they were just like, you know what we're gonna do? Since we're out here and these people are out in this fuckery, here's what we're gonna do. All y'all just go in and buy like a little ticket real quick, and then don't don't come. And we're just gonna watch the disappointment. Like the meme lords and the K-pop stands from everywhere are like literally like saved like the whole United States for like 0.2 seconds. Like they were just doing what they could to just stem the tide of nonstop nonsense that 2020 has been. We appreciate you. We see it out here.
Do y'all remember the G.I. Joe movie, right? Basically, it's like Cobra is invading the Statue of Liberty, and then all of a sudden, G.I. Joe just pops out of everywhere and starts wrecking. That's what I felt like the K-pop stands and the TikTokers were really coming in. Like, basically, like, oh, they're gonna really have it, and all of a sudden, everything just pops up, and it's like, okay, yeah, none of that's happening. All of it shut down. I loved it. I stand.
I mean, also, could we just point out that probably the K-pop stands and the TikTokers saved more lives from the coronavirus than Trump ever had? Ooh. Just by trolling Trump. Oh, wait, you're having a mass gathering? Indoors? Oh, no, we can't have that.
What if we didn't?
In Tulsa? No.
Okay, we need to talk about that too. So for those of you who are not necessarily aware of your history, part of the reason that whole thing got delayed is because the people of Tulsa were just like, what you're not going to do is come to the birthplace of this whole thing with the nonsense and the disrespect, like bringing the racist nonsense out here. We're not having all that. And they sent these people back to sender. Where it's like, you're not coming over here today with that, Satan. No, Satan.
So, with all that aside, again, I believe that Trump got real mad at TikTok. Of course, they started using the whole rhetoric of, when Trump was okay with China, he would always refer to as China. But when he's mad at China, it's always the People's Republic. He uses the very official communist term for China.
Right.
Like, just like, it's like when your mom calls you by your whole name because you know you're in trouble. So apparently after that, like they kept using the rhetoric that China was behind a lot of nefarious activity with TikTok and WeChat and all that stuff. I don't know. To where they were writing executive orders to ban the app. And the app was supposed to be removed from app stores this past Sunday. But as this article is dated September 20th, it seemed like that Sunday, it was like, nah. Oracle and Walmart, two unlikely companies strike a deal to take on TikTok's US business. So,
although I am very curious about something, because right around the same time as the TikTok stuff, there was also a concern about a number of programs that people were also using to communicate that were also somewhat related. So people were having questions about what would happen with programs like WhatsApp and WeChat, I believe.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it's just those applications that are owned by Chinese companies. Another article that was in here that I removed because it seems like it's all moot now, or actually I don't know if it is. The US was starting to look into Tencent's involvement with Epic and Riot, which I think, Tencent owns a sizable chunk of Epic, but they own all of Riot.
Right.
Which, Epic, I'd feel some way about if Epic went away, but if Riot went away, I'd be all right.
Yeah, I think I'll be all right without Riot. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be good. But yeah, Epic, hey, they make engines that all of our awesome games run on. I mean,
pretty much.
I'll say it, I might be a little miffed if Fortnite did go away completely. I mean, sure, I can't play on my iPhone or my Mac anymore, or my iPad, but I mean, if I couldn't play it with the ray tracing on my PC, then yeah, I'd be kind of upset that I couldn't do that anymore. But mainly
because of ray tracing,
we're just the Unreal Engine altogether. Like I'd be sad if the Unreal Engine went away.
Yeah, me too.
So is all of that wrapped up in here with this WeChat thing, or are we talking about Article 2?
No, that's that. Oh, that yeah. 'Cause Epic Games is all up in the news too, but that's completely unrelated. That's the Apple joint.
Right.
It is not wrapped into this one. Again, I had an article for. Let's see. U.S. Treasury, Epic Games. There it goes. So, yeah, they're looking into American companies behind Fortnite, League of Legends over their ties to Chinese tech titan Tencent. But yeah, it's just more or less like, hey, why is all your China and in our U.S. businesses? Get it out. What are y'all doing? Or is China influencing your games? Are they stealing the data? I mean, I'm gonna say no. Well,
I'm gonna say here, looking at this, like, one, no, but two, now, really, like, y'all late.
I mean, yeah, like we had questions about that beforehand, but I mean,
Right.
Riot looks suspect to begin with, without Tencent's money.
And every time this comes up, I can't help but wonder, okay, whose pocketbooks are involved here? Because it's always that question. Who stuck their hand in the cookie jar? That's just like, someone was kind of like, it was cool when you were doing that over there, but now you're touching my money and we have a problem. So,
Right. Like, oh, yeah. That's kind of where it feels like, because it's always the whole question of, do United States companies like capitulate to, like I say, I'm not saying a specific foreign power, but a foreign power that has a large market share, that is a huge consumer of your product, and wouldn't you like say like, maybe I might want to like maybe I might want to make some business moves that would be real nice for the country that really truly buys in on my product. And are you and I think that would be like, okay, let's look at your books on that, but not more or less, let's just go ahead and just kill your business, because they ain't doing no more or worse than some quote unquote American companies that I would fail to name when they dabble in our data and information whatsoever.
Wow.
But I'm just saying,
because I'm like, I'm not judging, I'm just letting y'all know.
Yeah, I'm just letting y'all know what's any different from any other companies that American companies that dibble dabble in our
because we know, not them.
Bracket.
They don't know what we know.
They don't know what we know.
Exactly.
I mean, I got two quick answers to that
know.
question if we need them, right? If we're looking for answers, we got two of them real quick.
Yeah.
Answer number one, tax bracket. Answer number two, how much y'all contributing to my campaign so I can retire and live wealthy after I get out of this office?
And be a lobbyist.
Well,
we're just speaking truth today. Like that's what I heard we were doing. So.
Oh yeah. Truth's coming out today.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, TikTok saved, but you might won't watch your games.
Yeah.
But again, just stop playing Valorant. Stop playing League of Legends. That'll solve that problem. That'll solve the problem. Just don't play their games.
I think Among Us has done a really good job of making people stop playing Valorant.
That's right. Pro Among Us player here. Thank you. I'm going for the Fallout crown next. Speaking of games and Epic and American companies doing weird things, Epic Games, Spotify, and Tile form a coalition for app fairness to fight back against Apple.
Girl, she said Epic Games was on that list.
Epic Games.
Epic Games.
Epic Games. Fight for fairness. Epic Games. Epic Games. Epic Games.
And the thing is, like, with Epic, like, Epic just wants to pick a fight with people. Somewhat justifiable, but Tim Sweeney is just... He's just a person. He's like the fucking Richard Stallman and Linus Torvalds of the game world, which is weird.
Yep.
But Spotify and Tidal, I kind of get it, because Spotify is competing against Apple Music, and of course, if Apple Music is literally on every iPhone, that can be a problem. And Tidal, which... It's weird for Tile to be an issue right now, because the W1 chips and all of Apple's new products hasn't really been used for much lately. They keep talking about it,
right?
But it hasn't been activated on anything. For Tile to be complaining right now, it seems weird. I see why, but I guess Tile is just being preemptive. It's like, look, we know it's coming. We don't know when it's coming, but it's coming.
It's
and
like
it's gonna be worse.
It's like they're looking at the Cupertino and thinking to myself, like, any day, the eye, like the eye stamp or whatever, and it's just like, it's something that and then you got Tim Cook.
Oh no,
looking at your thing, being like,
it's not like it's speculative. No, it's in there. So what the iPhone has, or what all the newer Apple products have, are the W1 chip. Right. It's an ultra wideband chip that does what Tile does. Essentially, if you leave your phone somewhere and other iOS users walk by it, it'll do what Tile did. Like, it's in the phone already. It's in your most recent Apple devices. They just haven't enabled it.
Right.
Which is weird, because I'm actually looking forward to it, because again, my wife loses her watch and her phone all the damn time. Granted, her watch is moot because it's older, but for somebody who loses her phone all the damn time, yeah, I'm waiting for them to turn that shit on. But yeah, for Tile, it's not speculative. It's more or less like, so which version of iOS y'all gonna turn it on? What's going on? Like, look, we need to know. Anywho, before you do, we getting ready. So yeah, like Spotify, Tile, I get. Let's see who else is on here. Basecamp, which I forget what they do. Blix,
Basecamp isn't Basecamp the project management software?
Hold on, let's see if I click it. Okay, I think they created some email. They created an email app, which they ran into App Store issues with. Blix. Okay, that's another email application. Blockchain, Deezer, which is podcasting, the European Publishers Council, Match. Not sure why Match.com is on there, or why Match is on there, but okay. News Media Europe, Prepare. What for the logo? For the logo alone, Pear is on here, or Peach Pear is on here. Prepare, Proton Mail, and Sky Demon. Many of which you have had arguments with Apple in the past.
Like square up. Get ready. It's like,
okay, so it sounds like what we're looking at in real time is a Twitter fight, because it was we're fighting over Fortnite. Well, okay, since you don't want to do what I want you to do, I'm gonna go get my boys and we're all gonna jump you. And Apple's just like, I mean, okay, so now you have like this whole like captain of the football team against a bunch of fifth graders. Now, like, the thing I don't understand, right, is the utter absurdity of this whole thing. Y'all are fighting about this when Android is literally a platform you could be on. That's a whole thing that you could be on. Google, as much of a pain as that is, is also involved there if you wanted to extend your reach. You don't you didn't want to do that. You were determined to be in the VIP lounge with Apple. Let's say that you get what you want, you're able to get on there. Then what happens? So there's that, but then it's also looking at these companies and knowing the dirt that happens to the people who work with them. It's like, it's like you just looked at a mirror and decided to be mad at your own reflection because this is going to be you in 10 years from now. Like that. Why are you? That's like you like waking up one day and be like, I look like my dad and I hate it, or I look like my uncle and I don't like it, and I like that's exactly how this feels. Because I'm like, really, Spotify, you want to talk about fairness? How much are those artists getting paid that are on your platform right now? Like, hey, Epic, how much are those developers getting paid that are like putting games on your platform right now?
I mean, they're getting 90%.
If the developers are getting 90% on Epic, then good on Epic.
Yeah, they put because again, that's their fight against Steam. Again, Epic is out here just picking fights with people.
Right.
Epic is just like picking fights. They don't want
Epic out here Epic out here like, okay, well, we're on this Rona, so we're gonna go ahead and square up before everybody gets to go back outside.
Right, pretty much. Like,
okay, if Epic is out here fighting to do the right thing, then I will leave Epic alone, and we literally just need to talk about literally everything else.
See, that's the thing, and that's where a lot of this issue is coming in with this Epic versus Apple fight. People are like, Epic, you make so much money, why are you fighting? Understand that if it was literally any of these other companies, Apple's done shat on them so much that like they've rose the fight, they've lost the fight, and then it just gets forgotten. Epic is big enough to fucking punch Apple in the face and say, motherfucker, do shit right now.
It's literally like Epic has the ability to punch somebody and it hurt, Oh,
Epic's out here like, let me run you this fade real quick.
Right.
It's like we can hate Epic for what Epic is, but at the same time, they kind of are in the right.
Right.
So it's this thing of it's a weird spot to be in. Like, on the one hand, if Epic is out here just doing right by people in general, and they're just like, all right, we're about to take this to the next level because it needs to be done, we've been kind of biding our time waiting to do it, then that's one thing. But if it's literally, I'm mad because I can't put Fortnite in this Apple store and you decided to do something, so we're being petty about it, I'm just like, well, where were you like X amount of years here? Because it's not like you just came up and that you're new in the scene. You've been here for a bit, so where was all of this?
So the thing is, Epic's been wrestling with this for a while. So when they finally put Fortnite on mobile, it was on Android first, but it showed up on Samsung store where Samsung was like, hey, whatever, do what you want to do, because you can get around Google Play this way. And for any non-Samsung device, you have to download the APK and do that whole untrusted shit, which is super dangerous for people who don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Very
like changing registry settings on your Windows machine. Also, don't do that. You know what you're doing.
Add that to the list. Like, so don't install from untrusted sources.
So so there's that. Epic was doing that to get around Google Play. Then they just gave up. It's all right, we're gonna put on Google Play, and then at the same time they gave up and got put on the App Store, knowing damn well that Google and Apple were going to take that 30% cut.
Right.
Epic was about not letting them do that. They wanted 100% of that money because they're getting 100% from the Epic Store. And actually, it's kind of weird to have this conversation because who knows? I don't even like. It's not known what the cuts are for PlayStation and Xbox
and Switch.
So we don't know what those cuts are, yet those those games exist on those platforms, and Epic had no issue with that. So for all I know, Epic could be getting 100% of those and just nobody saying anything.
Or a big enough cut to where it's like, well, it makes more sense for us to not, deal with it because, of course, we still have Epic and we're making the money. We're making our monies we're making our monies good on Epic, but then we're also making our monies on the collective platforms like PlayStation, Xbox. It's good enough that where we can survive with the hit. However, when I'm also play devil's advocate for a little bit, the mobile market dwarfs like PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo because everybody got a phone. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a phone. Everybody has a smartphone. So when you have a huge chunk of market share and you're still having to do a small split, even if it's a favorable split, that still kind of stings to kind of give some of that money away. Even again, this is me playing devil's advocate again. I don't see the issue because these are all very, very rich companies making exuberant amounts of money. But it's just like...
It's kind of one of those things like, okay, but are they trying to make money or are they trying to make a point? If they're trying to make a point, I could be down for some of that because it's a really good point to make. Monopolies in general are bad for consumers. They're awful for consumers, right? It's why you got these games that are coming out here barely beta tested, but still $80. On the other hand,
right,
if you're just out here because, well, we want more money and dang it, Apple won't let us install things on their phone so people will run us more coins, then honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you the whole side eye real quick.
Yeah, I think it started off being about the money, and then somebody says, "Hey, we can spin this into being a point, into being like, and we're petty enough, rich enough, deep pocket enough." That where we can kind of like bring other people to the table with grievances to make ourselves look even more legitimate. Because see, look at these people who have been wronged by Apple, by Google. They have problems. They have grievances, and we must, yes, we suffer as much as they've suffered, even worse so. But it's still about money. It's all, at the end of the day, it's still about the money.
But see, I don't think so. Because one, like the thing, like I mentioned before, we do not know the revenue split with Microsoft and Sony. Right. I feel like those aren't known because of the fact that it depends on the developer and the publishers who come through there who worked out those deals. Mm-hmm. So again, Epic could be getting all 100% of the money that's coming through the sale of V-Bucks and skins and all that shit. Mm-hmm. That's probably why nobody's complaining. Nobody's saying anything. Because again, like, hey, people know like what, it's almost like that knowing your worth bullshit. I hate people talk about that sometimes, but it's somewhat relevant. Like knowing your worth and knowing when you come to Sony, you come to Nintendo, you come to Microsoft, and know, all right, if I put my game on your platform, like how much of that I'm getting back and what you can kind of negotiate. Because I feel like those companies are more fluid. Mm-hmm. Again, why you don't hear what those revenue splits are for these platforms, and I could be wrong. Those numbers could be out there, but it's definitely not out there for big publishers.
Right.
Sure shit.
And that's that's assuming, of course, that we're not in this situation where, because this has been a thing that happens, someone going, well, I mean, you could talk about it if there weren't NDAs in place to keep you from doing it, because we sure would hate for you to not have a job. And those can be good, but those can also be really bad.
Right. So with Google and Apple, because they're relatively new, the whole draw for them, especially I think this was announced when Apple created the App Store and said you can sell apps on the App Store back in, this had to have been 2008 by this point. Because I think the App Store came in the iPhone second year. I think they had mentioned it's a 70-30 split. Like they just went on stage and said, this is what it is. Every developer is going to get 70% of the app sales.
Right.
And nobody's going to be any different. Again, this is before they had big developers like Capcom, Epic, Square Enix putting games on their platform. Because I'm pretty sure they weren't even thinking about that at the time. Because who was going to play a console game, or what big console developer was going to put their game on a phone? But now they're so powerful, I probably could play Halo Infinite natively on my iPhone if I wanted to. I don't think Epic's issue is about money. I think it is solely about the point, because of the fact that this all happened around the time Apple had already been investigated, and is currently being investigated for antitrust behavior. Like, that's been a big fight for Apple in Europe, and it kind of spilled over in the US. And when that happened in 2020, a couple of months later, Epic got real ballsy all of a sudden.
Smell blood in the water, being
they
like,
were ready. Epic was fucking ready. They knew what the fuck was going to happen when they did that shit, because they had that commercial ready to go. They had that Fortnite ad ready to go within minutes of their app being pulled.
You're ready.
Which, again, if we want to talk about, Epic fighting a good fight, yes, they're fighting a good fight, but weaponizing their player base for a lawsuit was shitty. That was not a good move.
I'm just like, listen, I'm just saying I'm very mixed here in the feelings that I have. You had the time to prepare your petty. Like, that petty was out here simmering. It was brine. You made sure to put all 13. You made sure to pray to all 13 of your ancestors and bring back seasonings from each to put in the middle of that petty before you decided to serve that up. And you made a whole polished 4K commercial about it. Listen,
you had a skin prepared.
That was that
you had the
Food
skin
Network
ready.
Shit, man. It's like, this is where we're we'll put it up. But look, we have, in the interest of time, we have one already ready to go.
in the interest of time, in the interest, so as to not waste your time with the unfolding, we're just going to give you a small summary commercial so everybody can catch up on what season we're on.
Oh, and sorry, iPhone and Mac users, you're not going to be a part of that season.
Nope.
Oop.
And that oop. All out in the cold.
So yeah, like it's. I feel like it is a righteous fight. Again, should it be somebody other than Epic? Yes, but Epic is the only one big enough to actually do it. And
the only thing I could think of here would be like, the only thing I could think of that would have been like, I don't know about this either, would have been like, God, what was it? EA Games being in the front of this article, because I would have been like,
the EA, Activision,
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, I wouldn't mind it. I just have beef with Ubisoft for a different reason right now. Ubisoft and I were cool up until June of 2020.
What you say?
But yeah, like EA, had it been EA or Activision, two of the companies that just got gross with their money, I was like, nah, something up. But Epic, the way they've been picking fights with people, they've been in the right. Like with Steam and the revenue split, with Microsoft and how they were handling their App Store, which coincidentally, whether people want to give Tim Sweeney the actual point for that, the Microsoft Store not only gives you UWP or Universal Windows app, Universal Window programs, they actually give you WinX32 apps now, which was the thing that Tim Sweeney was arguing about in the first place. So I don't know, like, Tim Sweeney, he is a tech guy. He knows what he's saying, and he's saying the right things. Again, because he's the CEO of Epic, a huge company that makes a whole bunch of money, it may come off as disingenuous. Again, if Mark Zuckerberg, for the first time in a long time, actually came right out of his mouth for something, I would look at him with a side eye too.
3 at this point. We're not going to talk about that 6,000 word essay.
Like I would sooner listen to Jack Dorsey than Mark Zuckerberg.
Whew, that's a strong statement. That's a strong statement.
That's a strong statement.
But I mean, again, if we run the tally of social media CEOs who fucked up, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, like, by second, keeps rising. Jack Dorsey stepped in it a couple of times, but I don't know. Twitter's been, for its faults, it's a lot better than Facebook.
You're out here just like you're just out here looking at Jack like at least your fuckery plateaued at some point. Mark is trying to set a record for like life.
It's still going.
When I see my man had a virtual, what was it, like a virtual tour of Puerto Rico with a Mark Zuckerberg avatar, I literally looked at myself like, are we in a bad episode of Silicon Valley? Because I feel like we in a bad, this feels like some Mike Judge shit. Like, it really felt like some Mike Judge shit.
Damn,
I'm really looking like, why am I in a bad episode? It's like, is Pied Piper finna show up? Like, what? Are they gonna do in middle out compression? What's happening right now? What's happening right now?
I'm a little bit more in the vein of someone told you that this was a good idea, or someone didn't tell you that this was a bad idea. And I feel like either way, someone needs to be slapped for that.
Right. Somebody was too busy, like, kissing on your left butt cheek to be able to not tell you that this was not a good idea.
Wow.
And this totally was not a good idea. And the internet corrected it instantly, as it usually does. Like, it corrects completely and instantly.
This you?
This you? It's literally a this you moment. This you?
Oh my goodness. Speaking of tech and CEO fuck ups and just what the fucking woes, who thought this was okay and greenlit this idea? Ring as drones. Apparently there was an Amazon event that happened earlier today. It had no idea, but was seeing the news trickle through. We've got another Amazon story later on in gaming if we get to it. Ring now has a autonomous drone that will fly to the scene of a break-in so you can see who is trying to break into your house.
I'm gonna tell you.
And it comes with a video, which is so fun.
It's like,
you know, if it's something that you're into and you wanted to buy, okay, because it's not like people don't have these things anyway. But also, that's just so weird to me. Like, they have like a little thing that's just flying around. It's kind of like, hey, I just want to see what's happening now that I'm not at the house. It's Corona. You're not supposed to be outside.
Exactly.
You see what's happening at the house.
What is happening?
like, maybe I would understand if this happened like a year and a half ago during the good times.
To be fair, they may have been developing it that long.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now and I'm literally like, this is like the nuttiest thing that I've ever seen in my life. It's like a combination of Jetsons meets Black Mirror, and I just can't for the life of me, like, look at this. Like, I can't imagine like somebody just not taking the fly swatter and slapping that thing out of the air. Like,
also, just man, these houses are immaculate though.
I mean, they're amazing. Look at this.
I now regret my purchasing decision. I want a house, like I actually told my wife, I want a compound if I have to move again.
I think that's
from
the next
room to
step.
room. I want to go outside for a bit.
This has got to be the weirdest thing that I don't want ever. Like, I don't want this.
Like, they're just like, you don't have to worry about it recording you because it blocks the camera when it's in the base. And I'm like, you invented a flying machine to record things. Like,
that thing gets hacked. It's flying around the house. It's not like, oh, it's hacked. We just throw a towel over it. No, it's hacked. It's flying to where you are. It's like, dude.
someone is literally streaming your house to Twitch and planning on how to rob it.
Yeah, let me go check all the entry points. Mm-hmm.
Twitch plays ring security.
I mean, yeah, Twitch plays ring security. Yeah, like imagine like you're in flagrante, and the thing, and then all of a sudden you just happen to look up, and then you just see this thing whizzing over your bed like a technological like dragonfly over your bed, and I'm just like, huh? Is that what we're doing?
This is the category of like, look, we know you can do it, but should you have done it?
Mm-hmm. It's Ian Malcolm all over again, man. It's like Dr. Ian Malcolm. Just because you thought you could doesn't mean you should. I'm like, bruh, have we not learned anything from Jurassic Park? Have we not learned anything from episodes of Black Mirror? Bruh.
Again, as a person of tech, this is cool. I do not want this in my fucking house, though.
No.
I don't want this at my house, and I also don't want someone mapping out their literal neighborhood and having the drone fly outside. Like, I just have reasons that I'm very concerned about the whole.
I'm like, I have.
But yeah,
I'll tell you.
Ring home always the Ring always home cam.
Right. I'm like,
$249 when it arrives sometime in 2021. So
then again, I can't really be mad. It's not like people aren't already out here with drones with cameras. They just made a smaller one that won't crash into your ceiling fan.
I mean, again, I would really love to have my Mavic Mini again. Now that I've moved, I'm definitely not looking for the one I lost. But I wouldn't mind having it. Like, it took great video. But yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good on this though.
I'm so good.
Same.
We just came up with a new flavor of Doritos. You ready for it? They are mayo flavored Doritos. He was like, you know what? You could have kept that one in the lab. You could have thrown that right in the trash. Like, just deleted that permanently and never let it see the light of day. I'm not interested.
Who wants this?
You burn in the pit where all those ET cartridges were. We're good.
Yep. No.
It's just like that just goes right in the same bucket with jazz drives. We never want to hear about it again.
I hate that I missed that era of storage. I love storage. Anywho, speaking of video games, it's time to talk some games, and boy, who would have thought this week, this Monday, like on a Monday morning,
not me,
Microsoft has just been dropping bombs on people. Just you wake up, you think everything's just going to be a boring old week, and then you find out Microsoft bought Zenimax for $7.5 billion.
With a B.
Y'all, can we just talk about this for a second? Yes. Aside for the actual news here, let's just talk about the fact that someone had, in this time of pandemic, $7.5 billion to just be like, I'm just going to go ahead and pick that up real quick.
I mean, weren't you wondering why Mixer disappeared?
I would throw shade here, but I don't think it's appropriate because I would have to say, something.
Microsoft is pretty flush right now. It's got a little something. It's got a little jingle jangle in his wallet right now. So it's like, it had a couple billion burning the hole in his pocket. They were like, we need to spend this on something. We need to spend this on something real quick. What can we buy? It's like they just got that gift card.
Tax returns.
Yeah, it's like they just got their Twitch payout and was like, we need to go ahead and spend that money on something. Let's go ahead and drop that on something real quick.
Oh, you're a damn fool. that notification hit different apparently.
Let's see. Let me see what I'm finna buy.
oh, let me just go ahead and I got that email. Let me just go ahead and open up that Amazon tab real quick in this browser.
I'm talking about, and it just cleared in my PayPal. Let's go.
Oh
Kevin, I hate you so much.
I want to kick him off. That was the worst.
Got that money. I'm like, let me see what I can buy. I'm gonna buy Zenimax. I'm gonna buy Bethesda. What's up?
Oh my God.
So let's talk about that. I think here, I'm gonna let Major introduce this one before I start talking about some stuff, because this was the one that I did out of all the articles we had today, this is the one that I did the most reading for, so I'm ready for this.
So yeah, like early Monday morning, before I woke up, I can't remember if I just saw a tweet or Kev posted it in the channel. Like one of those happened real early.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, like the announcement again, Microsoft had bought ZeniMax. Of course, everybody's been focusing on Bethesda and the games that they have. For $7.5 billion, that was announced early Monday morning. And like we were talking about it earlier. For me, I didn't see this as I saw it as a big deal, but I didn't see the difference between Bethesda and ZeniMax as the big deal, because of the fact that I've always equated Bethesda with ZeniMax. Like when I saw Microsoft bought Bethesda, okay, so yeah, they're getting Doom. Like when I heard when Bethesda was being bought, well, actually I forget. Deathloop is Bethesda. That's not ZeniMax. That is Bethesda. I was like, well, damn, like isn't Deathloop coming out on PS5? Like that's a thing. But yeah, as you can see in the update here, Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, timed PS5 exclusives. They are still going to be timed exclusive on PS5. Do not worry about it. They're not going away. Excuse me. And I think Phil Spencer had tweeted that other titles are going to be on a case-by-case basis. So if you are worried about trying to get Skyrim in your next can of Diet Coke, or to be playable on your next can of Diet Coke, there's a possibility that you will get Skyrim on Diet Coke. But for the most part, rest assured that all your Bethesda, all your ZeniMax games will be showing up on Game Pass on day one.
Yes.
On PC and Xbox.
Yes.
So when you talk about ZeniMax, right, I don't think people have an idea of how big that is, because if you're anything like me, you normally see these companies and all these different studios normally as their own individual and separate things, not part of a larger thing that has different subunits with different names or whatever, because of acquisitions and whatnot. So ZeniMax isn't just like a company in the same way that Bethesda wasn't just a company either. ZeniMax is like a holding company that has acquired like all sorts of studios. They have a really long list of them, and Bethesda made the news because ZeniMax had acquired like 3 of their offices. I think they had like one in Toronto, one in Austin, and a couple of other places here that were Bethesda. And they were just like, they had Bethesda, but they also had games. They have companies like ID Software or Tango Gameworks, Machine Games, and Arcane Studios. Now, none of that might make sense unless you're like heavily into the games that they make. But if you have played a Dishonored game, if you have played a Wolfenstein game, if you have played Prey or Quake or Doom, they bought all of that.
Yep.
Like they bought all of that. So all of that is Bethesda. It's like Bethesda and some stuff, because we're just gonna keep it like a whole 2 Virgils in here. That $7.5 billion would not have justified just buying Bethesda.
It's just Bethesda was the big name of the studios that ZeniMax owns, that ZeniMax has ownership of. So it's just kind of like, Microsoft, Xbox and Bethesda. But it was just as what sentence says, it's like it just happened to be the bigger name of the studios that you know that you bought into. So if it's like say like some company buys Nintendo, you wouldn't under Nintendo you would get Game Freak, you would get Retro Studios, you would get Retro Studios and such. Up under that, like Game Freak, Treehouse, the stuff that's Nintendo directly does not have, but then also has ownership and large stock in those games that identify predominantly as Nintendo. So, so that's all. Yeah. So that's kind of what you would go with, and be like, oh. It's like how when Disney bought into Fox, you started realizing, well, dang, Simpsons, that's part of Fox. But then you also start seeing like some of these smaller houses, like smaller production houses up under Fox, start popping up on Disney Plus and stuff.
And it's that same kind of like tone and vein to it too. Like things where people would be like, they could name the different production companies and stuff, and people wouldn't get them. But they said Disney bought Star Wars, and then people were like, "Oh shit!" Right? Because it's something big that they're able to understand. They don't understand like ZeniMax as a holding company. But if you say they bought Bethesda, people were like, "That Bethesda? The Bethesda?" Oh, okay, I see. So Microsoft is out here being that one today.
Right, exactly.
And for those of us like me who definitely conflated the two and thought, hey, Bethesda meant Doom, even though Doom is not a part of Bethesda. According to, again, Wikipedia, take that with a grain of salt, but I think in 2020 it's a reputable source at this point.
Yeah, especially for gaming things, because there is nothing that people like having about games more than superior knowledge.
Exactly.
ZeniMax was founded in 1999 by Bethesda Softworks founder Christopher Weave and Robert A. Altman. So it's kind of like a chicken and egg situation. ZeniMax wouldn't exist without Bethesda, but Bethesda's in ZeniMax. It's a thing. So yeah, like when I saw the news, like Microsoft bought Bethesda, like I forget that ZeniMax is a thing. And like of course Doom would go with it, right? Why wouldn't Doom be over there? Like Pete Hines from Bethesda talks about Doom.
It's one of those, because Doom is one of them I always like to say like Bethesda, and then non-Bethesda, where it's like Doom and Wolfenstein are on the non-Bethesda side, and Elder Scrolls and Fallout are on the Bethesda side of it. And most times when you see how good those games perform, it's usually the non-Bethesda games that perform pretty well, pretty much better and solid than the Bethesda games. So that's why I usually wouldn't say like, oh, that's non-Bethesda. They got their shit on lock. It's Bethesda stuff. It's that Todd Howard stuff that gets a little hanky though.
And to be fair, like I think I was to further, make myself feel better about all of this. Bethesda, as a publisher, has published all of those games that ZeniMax holds the developers for. Right. So I think for me, it's like, oh, well, they bought the publisher, right? Which means that all those games that being developed for that publisher would go, right? That makes sense. But generally speaking, I forget at the same time too, like it makes it. So let me go through here, because I wonder if they bought the developers or if they bought the publisher. Because Microsoft doesn't need a publisher; they just need a whole bunch of developers for their first-party studios.
What?
I think they just literally bought them all.
Yeah, just bought the whole thing. It's like, you know what? Hey, we bought everything. We're throwing out the publishing arm, or we're just
lock, stock, and barrel.
Just go.
Yeah.
Well,
but that all works into Xbox Game Studios.
I mean, either that, or they might do what ZeniMax was doing, which is just act as a parent company for all of these, because that's how ZeniMax happened in the first place. Bethesda used to have an old holding company or parent company, and ZeniMax became their successor.
Right.
So
Right.
this
So,
might be that.
so my question is, what happened to the publisher though?
Like the thing is, I don't think. I mean, I hope it's not a mixer situation, but it's like ID Software. I don't know, like, if it would make sense for them to just go, we're going to take this whole company and the very strong identity it has for the user base it makes games for, and just be rid of it. We want to keep the.
That's right. So, no, I'm saying, like, again, they bought all the developers. I get it. All the development studios, they're all Microsoft first party now, or at least by the end of 2021 they will be, once the deal finalizes. I'm talking about the publishing arm. Like, is it like, do they get rid of the publishing arm? Are they folding that into Xbox Game Studios? Because Xbox Game Studios would be the publisher for all of these Bethesda and Zenimax studios.
I think so. Like, I think Microsoft.
It would make sense to keep them, because again, why would you get rid of those partners? Like, you worked with these people for so long.
Yeah.
But I think that's why I'm confused, because again, Bethesda published all of those games, and if they bought everything, then what happens to Bethesda, the publisher, not just the developer?
I think Bethesda continues to be Bethesda. I think they just switch over to the developer arm, and then it's just like Microsoft and Microsoft Game Studios is now going to be the publisher of those things. Maybe they might do products under the guise of ZeniMax, so they could do like multi-platform, continue to do multi-platform releases, because I can't see them not doing multi-platform releases. But I know that Bethesda will do a Microsoft only game. Just be like, hey, you're gonna do us a Microsoft game.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, they are now contractually obligated because they're now Microsoft Studios.
Right. So now they can be like, hey, you're doing us a game, but you can still put Elder Scrolls on a toaster. You can still do that, but all your games are going to be on Game Pass, and we want you to make us a game that fits the Xbox, style and grace and blah 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 blah. Because of course that's what that's what they do.
Although, you know what? You bring up you mentioned Game Pass here, and I think that kind of leaves a very interesting open point here about this. So it's a weird kind of branching side point to all of this, but I think it's kind of important to bring up. All of these, in the time that we're in, all these studios are bringing up all of these games and they're doing stuff, and y'all have both expressed this kind of opinion here, wherein you're just like, they keep throwing games at me. Take care, Otaku.
Take care.
They keep throwing these games at me, this long list of games. How am I supposed to play all of it? How am I supposed to buy all of it? My pockets only have so much money in this bank account, and I also have to pay bills. But now, with this whole acquisition happening, there are two things that are on my mind. One of them is, for all these people who have Game Pass, they suddenly have access to a whole bunch of games that previously they might not have been able to, because a lot of these people who have a Game Pass will be able to play games with that now. I wouldn't be surprised if the pricing on Game Pass changed a little bit, but not too much. But it would be more affordable for people to buy a subscription to a catalog of things, be able to pick from them, than to purchase like $60 per game or $50 a pop per game or whatever. So that's one of those things, like, this is kind of good for consumers or people who are really into playing a lot of these games. So that's going to be really cool. On the other hand, we have PS5 right around the corner with all this too. So now, what do we want to say is the over-under for how long it's going to take before people start also trying to acquire things? What do you think Sony is going to try to acquire next? Someone was jokingly saying something about possibly Capcom, which I was kind of like, God in heaven, please no. But also, do we feel like that's where that's going? Do you think we're going to start seeing like all the major players going, why don't we just go ahead and pick up some studios? Because I haven't had people this shook about game company acquisition news since Rare.
Which again was picked up by Microsoft, but
True.
I think it'll be interesting to see what Sony's going to do, because of the fact that nobody's really been making. I don't know. It's really weird. Like, I don't know who Sony would pick up outside of like any number of Japanese development or publishing arms. So like, I mean, I would sooner believe Capcom than anything else.
Atlas.
I know there was rumors going around that Microsoft's going to pick up Sega at Tokyo Game Show. Like, it was a fucking grocery store. Even though I would sooner believe Nintendo. Well, no, actually, no. I would believe Sony. Microsoft would do that too. So
I feel like Nintendo would buy Sega, but I feel like
it seems like it'd be better for them to do it, but Microsoft is in a better position to do that.
True. But again,
that being said, like honestly speaking, I kind of. In a magical world where I could have anything I want and I could just be like these two businesses would merge, it would actually be kind of cool if it were Sega and Nintendo, so that we could have a Mario Sonic crossover. That's all I want in my life.
Like Sonic and Mario Party, I would love it. I stand, but or well, I don't think Microsoft would give it up, but I would definitely see like if Nintendo rebought Rare. Cracked open those Switch money, and said, "Hey, we're taking Rare back, and Donkey Kong, and we're gonna make a new Donkey Kong game, and 3D Donkey Kong."
But see, that's the thing. Like, Microsoft is not above taking games that they've published and put it on the Switch.
Right. True.
Again, we've been getting Ori. I would not be surprised if, because Zenimax has been doing it for a while. They put Wolfenstein, they put Doom on the Switch, and I think that Doom Eternal is still coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if you still saw Zenimax games on the Switch even after this. Because Microsoft's been sharing with Nintendo for God knows how long, and I'm pretty sure Microsoft would share with Sony too. If Sony actually wanted to play. But Sony doesn't. And it's at this point, I don't know what company Sony would even be able to take, because who is willing to work with them at this point that hasn't already been acquired by them?
I can't see. For me myself, I can't really say like Sony really playing nice with people. I can see Nintendo and just like I say, Nintendo and Microsoft playing nice because they've played nice before. But I just can't see like Sony, like Sony and Capcom, maybe Atlas, maybe Square Enix.
No, Square too big. Square too big.
Yeah, that's right. Square too big.
Square too big for that. Because you still got you got Eidos.
You got Eidos. Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. Yeah.
I'd almost see Square selling Eidos to Microsoft at this point.
I can see that.
Again, like Microsoft, maybe because Microsoft's been in the business of buying a whole bunch of devs, to where I could see Microsoft buying everybody. But yeah, it's like I would see Microsoft buying Eidos before Sony being anywhere close to buying Square, buying anybody. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's at this point where I do believe the PlayStation 5 is some deep shit right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, the fact that we can sit and look at the launch from last week and how piss poor of a job that was. How they've been lying to their customers, saying that we believe in generations, but Horizon 2 and Spider-Man Miles Morales are both going to be on the PS4, and probably others that they haven't announced yet. The fact that they're doing like this PlayStation Plus collection or some like just their first party collection, but that's it. We're not doing Game Pass, which definitely could help them, especially when you don't have the first party titles.
Like nine. Like you don't have the past gen. You don't have the backwards compatibility.
No.
The past generation of games. You have PlayStation Now, but that's not free. But that's not included in the PlayStation Plus. That'd be nice, but it's not included.
To be fair, Game Pass isn't either.
Yeah,
Game Pass is not included with Gold. However, there is a path to do that. It is a bundle. You can do that.
There's a bundle to that.
Yeah.
There's no bundle for PlayStation Now and Plus. You can't bundle that together, because I know some people would do that. I know people are like, yeah, I would gladly give you extra money if you were able to do that, and like a bundle plus some savings, a bundle savings to do that, and yet there's
these
no
thing. These companies are out here being like, I don't want to do bundles, and it's kind of like, so you don't want money, is what you're saying,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know how many bundles Disney Plus was selling with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Sure, I didn't buy that because I actually pay for ad-free Hulu, and I'm definitely not watching Hulu with ads. Look, fuck that.
I mean, are you? Where's the lie here?
But yeah, like, there are bundles that are out there. Like, I actually bundle Showtime and CBS All Access on Apple TV now. At one point last week, I was contemplating getting the Apple one of those Apple One bundles until I was like, yeah, I'm paying less for more of the. Yeah, I'm good. Like, there are bundles that are out here to save people money, to bring those consumers in. Like, again, like, my whole argument for buying an Xbox Series X at this point is not because of their first party, because it does not exist.
No,
it's because I already have Game Pass, and it's the whole thing of knowing that there will be console exclusive titles. There won't be games that come out on PC that are on the Xbox,
right? And
that I would want to play,
right? Because you can't play Age of Empires on the Xbox, and
the argument's the other way. The argument's the other way.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that PC Game Pass is one thing, Xbox Game Pass is another. Just because you can play some games on PC as well as console, that doesn't mean you can play all games on Xbox on console to PC and vice versa.
Right.
So it's good to have the options, and I do like the fact that Xbox allows me the options. Yeah, and with that, I'm probably going to get a Series S at some point.
Yeah, it's like, at this point, I feel like I'm losing money. Like,
right.
At the moment they put an Xbox Series exclusive title, which is what are they going to call, like, the family of Xbox next gen titles? I mean, what is it? Is it the Xbox Series?
I feel like it's going to be the Series. The series. I
mean, I guess, like, once they stop selling Xbox Ones, I guess you just call them Xboxes at this point, right? But anywho, like, once they put next gen exclusive titles on Game Pass that I can't get on PC, at that moment, at that specific moment, I will start looking. All right, now I'm losing money,
right?
Because now there are games that I'm paying for that I can't play.
Right. Exactly.
Not that, like, I don't feel like I'm losing money on games that I'm not playing, that I'm choosing not to play. Like, I mean, I said open up my Game Pass app on my iPad, which again is the only Microsoft app or Xbox app on my iPad that I can use, and can see all the games that I've got access to. And sure, I'm not downloading all of them because I literally do not have the storage for it. But those are games I choose not to play, not games that I can't play because I don't have access to it. But as soon as they put one on an Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S that isn't on PC, at that second, when they flip the live switch for that, I'm losing money.
Right.
Like, the argument now is not who's got the better launch lineup, but it's like who's got better access to games that I can have access to. Not that I want to play, but just who's got better access to these games than I'm paying for.
Right.
It's not like I can cancel my Game Pass subscription because I've got it till 2022.
Yeah.
So maybe in June of 2022 we'll talk. But that scenario I described is going to happen way before then. Like, I would not be surprised if that shit actually happened in November of 2020. Because there's a game that's going to be out for Game Pass only on Xbox Series X, only on Xbox Series S. That's not going to be on PC. That's not going to be on Xbox One. That I can't get access to. And best believe I'm going to be hitting up the all access sites. All right, who got one for me? Because damn it, I can't not have access to that game.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I am glad that, because what I was looking into, there was a video that I was looking at this morning. There was like basically the whole confusion between the Xbox of like what exact games can be, because there are games that are coming out for the One that are also can be optimized for the series consoles, and we need to know specifically what games can run on X and, you know, XS, whatever. And the thing that the guy brought up was, you know, all y'all got is optimized for the X, and that's great if it was just the X, but there's the S now. So now, shouldn't that now say optimized for the S, for the X and the S?
I think they're changing that logo.
You know,
I think they have changed that logo. They only put the X because the S wasn't announced yet.
Right, because the X wasn't announced yet. So I'm hopefully they changed that.
I was watching a Digital Foundry video. I can't remember if it had to been the day that the Series S was announced, but I'm a week behind on my videos on Plex, so I just watched it recently.
Right.
They said that when they took that trip to Microsoft back in March, they were shown and even shot video of the S back in March.
Mm-hmm.
They known about it.
Right.
People knew that the S existed, but were just NDA. They couldn't talk about it.
Right.
So yeah, like, people knew about that for a while. There were definitely a lot of people who knew that the S existed. But yeah, Microsoft played the huge, big old deception to let people think that, there ain't nothing else coming. Or maybe, I don't know. We're just talking about the X right now.
Right.
But yeah, I think that a lot of that language was, it's optimized for the Series X because that was the only console. Now they're it's just optimized for next gen. It's going to be optimized.
Right.
But even if a game isn't optimized for that new system, because again, let's look at Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is not going to be optimized for the S and the X at launch.
Mm-hmm.
It is strictly an Xbox One X or Xbox One title or a PS4 PC. It's solely a current gen game. However, if you take the disc and you pop it into the new system, it'll still play.
Right.
It may do a little bit of upscaling, but it won't have the new shit. That new shit, I don't think comes out till sometime in 2021.
Right.
It'll be optimized then, but not at launch.
Right.
So it's important for people to remember that, hey, those Xbox One games you bought now will work in your new console.
Right.
They may not be optimized. They may not have the new textures or the new performance features or whatever, but it'll still work.
Right.
It's people buying Xbox Ones who may think that games that are coming out after November 10th will work on their Xbox One. That's the issue.
Yes.
Also, the parents probably need to go back and look at their Amazon shopping receipts and make sure that they picked up a Series X as opposed to a One X. Because I heard that was an issue.
Yeah, because I think that jumped. I think like the sales rank jumped up like 743% because people bought it thinking that it was the Series X instead of it being the One X. And I legit will tell you that there's probably going to be some disappointed kids this Christmas. I mean, just or there's going to be some very awkward trips back to Best Buy because like yeah, and I'm like, and they'll be like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you, but they sold out. Sorry.
How much you want to bet these parents are going to be really awkward when those packages show up, like in a couple of days? Like, wait, how did they come out to November? Why is it here already?
Yeah. Then it's like, wait, what? And then somebody's like, yeah, you bought the wrong one. You bought the wrong one. I'm sorry. Send it back to Amazon. UPS store.
But yeah, so to wrap that up, yes, Microsoft buying. Wow, we went on a tangent there. Microsoft buying Zenimax for $7.5 billion on Monday. So yeah, all those people who are Xbox fans, well, y'all got some new games to play, and I think.
Just out here, just casually buying things. Just dropped it in the pocket. You know, they used to have a song for the young kids called "Just Throw It in the Bag," and that's what Microsoft did right here. They just toss that right on in there.
Like, there you go.
Now that being said, I think it's also one of those things where it's kind of important for us to be aware of like all of that movement and things, because we might, like, as we have already seen, whole platforms have disappeared, studios are being acquired and merged into things. Like, the landscape of gaming that we came into this with is not what we will have when we leave.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Could we possibly see the death of Sony? Could Microsoft have actually won this war of attrition?
Oh God.
I don't think so, but I'm gonna tell you, like I don't think like Sony's done, but I think Sony gonna be like, we need to switch it up. We need to switch it up now. Cause remember like how Xbox One was almost going to get the kibosh thrown on it.
A good point.
And
good point.
Yeah. So it took a little thing, and it probably had to lick its wounds a little bit, and it wasn't like the end all be all. But
so Sony needs a Phil Spencer.
Yeah, Sony needs a Phil Spencer. Exactly. Okay. Sony needs a Phil to come in and be like, all this is gonna change. Everybody out. I'm switching it up.
They do need that.
I mean, like Steve Ballmer of the past, like just come in and just.
Yeah, they need Sony needs a Satya Nadella. That's what it is.
Yeah, need like somebody to come in and literally be like, all this is gonna change.
Now, if we want to talk about some tech CEOs, Satya Nadella, shout out. That dude is crushing it.
Real talk.
Microsoft, since he took over, Microsoft has definitely been changing.
They came out. They looked like they went through a makeover process. They went to a montage. They got stronger. They went out. They like, all you can hear is like, Joe Esposito's "You're the best around." I can't play it because it's Demaka, but you know, they actually getting their flex going.
My God.
Demaka. Yeah. Or Demaka, you know, if you want to also call it that, but you know what I'm saying.
I do, and I'm mad about it. It's great though.
But yeah, it's like, you know, they went through the montage and getting themselves ready. They cleaned up the rec center, and now everybody's good now, you know. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Sony needs a Phil Spencer to come in and right the ship. You see what happened, like, you know, when
I'm not saying be out here playing dirty, but Sony, sweep the leg. I'm just saying.
Wow. Sony is doing like Kutaragi moves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so wait, hold on. Are we expecting an October surprise from Sony this year? Speaking of elections and dirty moves and all that shit that's going on in 2020, Cobra Kai is leading in Netflix right now. I just watched it again just because it's on Netflix.
I gotta watch it the first time.
Oh my God, it's great.
I know it's great. It's great, but I have to actually watch it.
It is really
I'm bummed because I just started watching Karate Kid again, and I'm like,
that makes me really want to watch Karate Kid. I need to go back and watch. I've seen the first. I've not seen the other two. So I need to see. I need to watch all of those.
Yeah, you do.
But yeah, so yeah, Sin, are we expecting an October surprise from Sony? Just gonna be some dirty ads. From so you wouldn't believe what Microsoft is doing with your storage.
Oh God.
Oh, what if they already did? I'm gonna jump the gun here and I'm gonna talk about this one.
Situation.
I want to talk about this one. Yeah. So you know those expansion cards that that Microsoft is putting out, so you can expand your storage on your new consoles. How about 1 terabyte of that costs $220?
The devil is a liar.
And his feet stink too. What do you mean?
And his breath smell like brimstone and sulfur. Fuck out of here.
So here's something. Do you know how much you're paying for your Xbox extendable storage? With the Sony PlayStation 5, you can actually install your own NVMe drive, which is going to be considerably less than the expandable storage of an Xbox Series X. Vote PlayStation 5 with your wallet. November 12th.
Yeah.
The way you read that, though, I'm mad about it.
Right.
I'm mad about it a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit.
All off the dome too. Just putting it out there.
The best tweet about this has to go to Betty Nix, and Betty Nix had posted, "Oh, so we bringing back memory cards now."
Wait, was this the first you've ever heard of this though? Because I've known this thing existed for a minute.
I mean, it was like we knew it, but we did not know the level of it actually looks like a memory card. It actually looks like a memory card.
They showed it off back in March.
2. I mean, yeah, but still, you look at it.
You know, I think it's one of those things where you knowing it ahead of time did not prepare you for actually
it's like you see it and you acknowledge it and you know it exists, and then you see it again.
So now that there's a price tag with it, it's now real.
It's like you see it
around. Oh shit!
Oh, for real? Memory cards? That's what they were talking about?
No, like okay, so
$219.
Okay, the only time that someone was willing to pay anything on that level was probably back in like the early 2000s, right around the time that the Dreamcast came out, because it also was like, this is both a memory card and a Tamagotchi too.
Yes!
Other than that,
yeah.
Other than that, though, what do you mean in the era of cloud storage, where that has been an established fact for at least 10 years, you want us to pay?
Well, see, so that's the thing. That's the issue. It's not for a save game, which, if we were talking about just solely memory cards and what their purposes were,
right?
Sure, but no, this is to expand the storage of your system to actually allow you to install more games on it.
Right.
Because remember, the Xbox Series X comes with no more than 1 terabyte. We don't know if it's exactly 1 terabyte because, again, operating system and all this other nonsense. The Xbox Series S has 512 gigabytes.
And that's a damn shame. And I understand, like, they want to like do something to make it like affordable.
This is like half a terabyte though.
Half a terabyte, and again, remember, it's a digital only system.
It's a digital only system, so it's like no discs. So, like, first of all, Call of Duty is not. You can't do Call of Duty, so no Call of Duty on the S, bar none. And maybe a couple of games, maybe rotate some games out.
Because think about, you're downloading the 4K textures regardless.
Right. Whew.
I am distressed.
That's maybe one of a handful of issues that I have with the Xbox Series S. It's like it's half, and it's like it's half the size.
But that's the thing. Like, this would not bother me if that expandable storage was not $220, and that was the only way you can expand it.
Right.
Again, that's why I'm glad we were talking about the October surprise shit, because like it made me think, like, That's the only thing. Like Sony's only play right now is their storage, and the fact that it is faster than Xboxes, and the fact that you can buy it from any electronic store that sells NVMe drives and 1 terabyte of PCIe. Like, I imagine 1 terabyte of PCIe 4 ready NVMe drives are less than $220. I mean, let's see. Let's go to Newegg right now.
Newegg it.
I don't want Windows 10 home because we.
No, wait, hold on for a moment. So you're talking about buying a hard drive, because I mean I have one right here, and I can tell you it wasn't $200 for me to buy a whole terabyte of the hard drive space. So like, on a digital only system, why am I paying this?
I feel like that at some point they're gonna come out.
Are they just trying to go out of business, but they're just trying to do this by making increasingly ridiculous decisions?
I feel like with maybe as like the system comes out, they may come up with more affordable storage options. That's what I'm hoping for. But if you're like wanting to like stay like Team Xbox and do the official stuff, or the, you know, sanctioned third party stuff, I feel like that's gonna cost you a lot of money,
right?
Like, to do that, because I'm like, bruh, so that's not it. This ain't it, Chief.
Hi THC, welcome to the stream. 2, pull up Newegg. So there are at least 3 or 2. Yeah, there are 2 currently NVMe M2 drives that are PCI 4, 1 terabyte, that are less than $200. Now these are the ones you can put in a PlayStation 5, provided they say, you know, it's good to go. Like they are saying like it has to be at a certain speed in order to work.
Yeah, I'm sure, please. Yeah.
So right now, again, Sony's got it on speed, and in theory, cost for expanding storage. I mean, granted, these are also just 1 terabyte, so not really going to work because I'm just replacing a terabyte with a terabyte.
Right.
But just to say like, hey, this is what that storage would look like if you were to just buy a terabyte of storage. Let's say if you could replace the NVMe in a Xbox Series S with the terabyte, there you go. I mean, you essentially doubled it instead of doing a 1.5. But
like, just consider for a moment. They said for you to expand this at all, you have to pay $200.
So,
or you could go to literally Newegg.com and go, you know what? I'm going to gift myself this console and twice the storage it comes with. I can take this other hard drive and use it for something else, like storing all of my like YouTube videos that I'm illegally downloading from whatever website or whatever, or like my latest collection from the Pirate Bay. I don't understand.
So the thing is, and so the one thing to keep in mind about the expandable storage, why we're even talking about storage at this point, is with the Xbox Series X and S and the PS5, they're using this incredibly fast storage in order to get rid of load times and, you know, be able to stream in 4K assets really, really quickly.
Right.
This is something that Elon Musk made. I know it.
No, AMD. It's an AMD thing.
About the same, honestly. But continue.
Yeah, okay. You can still use USB 3.0 hard drives on these systems for save data if you're trying to save files off the system, just not for the Xbox Series X and S games and the PS5 games. You cannot store those games on USB 3.0 drives because they are not fast enough.
Wow.
Now, let's say for the sake of argument, you amass a huge Xbox One collection, they're all digital. You can buy a giant ass external hard drive on USB 3 and store them all on that. That way you don't have to take up your internal storage on your Xbox Series X for your Xbox One titles, your Xbox 360, your Xbox OG titles. Same for your PS4, which again, I would probably have 20 drives for my Xbox, but 2 for my PS4, because backwards compatibility and all that. So it's not that big of an issue when you look at it like that, as like what you actually can and can't use on these systems in terms of like their complete libraries, whether it's their current and past gen titles. It becomes an issue still when you look at, again, the Xbox Series S with 512 gigabytes, and you about to play that new Call of Duty with 4K assets you have to download but can't see.
Right. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, can't play Call of Duty on Series S with them big 70s. Eat all that joint up. So yeah, that's kind of like the bit of the bummer of current gen of next gen, because current gen was like, oh, you can throw everything on that bad boy, throw these games, those games, we'll just format it in a way so you can't just like swap it over to something else, but we're just gonna make it so easy for you to be able to put your games on the drive, blah blah blah. But I'm just hoping that as like this new generation of consoles progresses, that way we can be able to have storage options that fit what we need,
right,
fit the current the needs that occur, and I hope for that. I'm definitely hope for that, but I ain't paying no $220 fucking dollars for no damn terabyte.
And like THC mentioned, and it's like it's the thing that is so blatantly obvious is the fact that Xbox Series X, that's enthusiast, and I'm pretty sure anybody would, like, whoever's bought that, they're already like, I'm gonna buy 5 of these expandable drives. Right. I just got money. But knowing that the Xbox Series S is that affordable option.
Right.
The fact that it is diskless, which means everything is digital. The fact that you only have 512 gigabytes. Like, you just, what was anybody thinking?
Right.
Like, the people who are buying the Xbox Series X have access, will probably for the most part have access to better internet than those who are buying the Xbox Series S. Right. Like, I would buy an Xbox Series X. My parents, if they wanted to buy my nieces a new console, would probably buy the S. Right. And it's like, I can go out and buy a disc or download all the games with my gigabit, just like that. Well, maybe not anymore, but almost like that. And they'd be sitting there forever to try to download the same game, which they will get like half the performance on. Right. And at the same token, they will run out of that storage so much faster and then have to put out more money to play more games, or have to spend that time deleting games from off of a system to download more. Right. Swapping out games. Like, that's ridiculous. I feel like.
Meanwhile, Microsoft is just kind of like, you know what?
Yeah, like, I get, like, it, like, I know what they were, like, again, taking the disk drive out, save some of that money. Right. But it's that catch-22. It's like, yeah, we take the drive out to save the money, but the people who are buying it will probably be the ones who would need the disc in the first place. Right. Facts.
Exactly. I mean, it's one of those things where you just look at this and go, well, why didn't you just do cloud storage if that's what you were going to do? And it's kind of like, well, what if people don't have internet? Okay, but what if people, like, literally don't have $220 to spend on a hard drive?
And it's like, it will be interesting in a time when we can go outside, we can go to stores. If like retailers like GameStop, if they're still around after all of this, we can take that expandable storage, buy a digital game, and have us like all right, like, we'll put it into the machine and it will download the game to that drive. Like, I feel like that's a viable solution to that problem. It's dumb. It is. But it's going to serve a lot of these rural communities a lot better. Right. It's something that I feel like an American company should have seen, because it's not like we're in Japan or Korea where even people in rural areas have better internet than what our rural American towns have.
Right. So it's kind of, it's very short-sighted. It's very short-sighted to not have it, because I've been like, I would rather the S be the $399 and it have the features that it needs, just like, you know, have the drive, still less powerful, but have the drive, and, you know, have like upwards to close to a terabyte, so at least it would have like some variation to that, you know, at least, or just have like the same terabyte and just be less powerful but still have the disk drive, or have the drive but no, you know,
and I
have the
like,
bigger drive but no disk drive.
And I feel like that's why PS5 was like, all right, look, oh, so they announced their price, oh, then we're good. If our comparable system, if our PS5 is going to be comparable to their Xbox Series X, then yeah, our discless one being $100 less but still as powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, anybody what, I don't want to insult a lot of people here, so I'm going to refer, like, anybody who will really think about this, if you have better internet, if you don't have to worry about data caps,
right,
buy the cheaper fucking system. Like, people may be more willing to put the $100 extra in if they know that, okay, I don't have great internet, I have data caps, but that $100 will definitely pay for itself when I'm buying discs that I can still go out, buy, and at least get some of the assets from, saving some of the download I have to do. Granted, and again, looking at Red Dead Redemption 2, even when you buy the disc, there was still a 100 gigabyte download.
What you say?
So what was the point of the disc then?
It was like to offload the extra, because I actually have, look, I have Red Dead with me and Steelbook, and yep, it comes with the 2 discs. This is the play disc, and this is the data disc. The data disc was basically half of what you needed to play Red Dead. Was the half, and because they know you this I mean, so if you downloaded it digitally, you would have to download the whole shebang. This
Which
is
I
basically
did.
which you do. But see, me, I had the disc, so I just downloaded half of it. I just installed half of it on this disc, and then I just installed the rest in like updates, and then I would just play the play disc with, I guess, all the things that make it go bang bang shooty shooty, and that was it. So that was it.
I'd have loved the S if it were just those weaker stats with the disk drive, so this memory expansion thing would feel less shitty. Honestly, at this point, if it weren't for exclusives, I'd be sworn off consoles at this point. The only console I still own are the 3DS and the Switch, and I don't know if I'm getting anything for the Switch for a hot moment anyway. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Again, earlier I mentioned, like, the only reason why I'm looking at the S or the series is so that way I can get Game Pass games that won't come to PC.
Okay, that's basically it. Like, I just want to play some Xbox. I just want to play some Xbox games on a console of my choice, and that's it. And that's, to be honest, that's about it. And I just like the S because it's cheaper. Even though I'm a little bummed about that, but I'm not gonna be like, a lot of my gaming is going to be on the PC and Switch. It's always been on the PC and Switch.
Yeah.
And the S is just kind of like, the S is just gonna be replacing what the PlayStation 4 was, the console where I played games that were not on the Xbox, that were not on the PC and Switch. That was it. And my hope was to get some nice PS5 games, and the PS5 would be user friendly for me, but as I've found out, there are not any good PS5. There's not any good like PS5 friendly games that make me want to spend upwards of $500 for the console when all I just want to do is be able to play, the odd game. And I just realized, like, I want to go back and I want to play the OG Red Dead, and I won't be able to do that on the PS5. So it would just make sense for me to get an S, download it, probably not going to be that much, and just play it until I get tired of it, and then, or I decide I don't want to play anymore, delete it, and then install something, and then play something else. Just rotate the games out. So it just worked, which is not ideal, but that's what I'm good. But, I'm going to do that because I've done it before. I've done it before on my PC, and I've had terabytes on terabytes of space. So I'm no stranger of just rotating games out every now and again and just being like, what's up? So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do.
So yeah, if you're buying a new console, keep on saving.
Keep on saving. Keep on saving. Or just get Xbox. Or everybody can just get Xbox All Access, pay $35 a month, and then just everybody just get X's.
They bought a total of 8 studios behind that. It was a total of 8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They got money.
They
gonna get more. They gonna get more.
I told you, the Twitch payout.
But if that storage thing has got you scared, at least now with the latest Xbox app on Android, because God forbid anything on iOS happens. You can stream your games from your console using the latest Xbox app beta. So I don't know. Actually, this might be more fear of your storage, because if you want to have more games to play on the go, slow news week, but hey, at least you can now stream games to your Android device from your console, which I felt like was a thing you could do before. Oh no, wait, that was PC. You can only stream it to the PC, but not to your mobile device. So more of xCloud future is coming your way for those on Android, so enjoy that. Speaking of tech specs though, y'all were saying games out. Look at my stream live here. Xbox here is soaking up those Game Pass bucks. How many subs that they were up to now? Yeah, I think it was 15 million. I think I missed that store. I missed that story, but yeah, I think there are 15 million subs for Game Pass right now. So yeah. If anybody asks, does it work? Oh yeah, it works. It works. One game that won't be on Game Pass, but actually has some pretty decent specs: Cyberpunk 2077. If you were really worried about if you were going to be able to play Cyberpunk 2077 on your computer, don't even worry. Of course, even coming from Paris Lilly, resident Cyberpunk super fan over at Gamertag Radio, has said as much. Like, look, he's played it. What's like what the specs that they're showing, you're going to get the thing you saw back in 2018. It's like, how the fuck is a console even going to be able to do any of this? Or how is a PC going to be able to do any of this? Of course, with recommended specs, you're looking at an i7 4790, Ryzen 3 3200G, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and a GTX 1060, which is a weak card from like 5 years ago. Wait, hold on. No, about 4 years ago. And that's recommended. So yeah, if you were worried about, getting that beautiful, oh so beautiful bean footage from Cyberpunk 2077 on the PC, chances are you're going to be all right.
Stairs and 1080p, GTX 1060.
So yeah, don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we've already covered this. We got Epic blames Apple for Fortnite Save the World going on a Mac. but who was playing that mode anyway? We've covered that in detail about their fight, so we're gonna move on from that one.
Yeah.
Hey guys, remember Stadia?
Stadia? Whew. My lord.
You mean Google Wave? What about it?
The shade.
Ooh. Oh. So people were complaining that, hey, there's no first party titles on Stadia. Why would I buy Stadia?
Nope.
Hey, there's 7 new games that are coming out that are exclusive to Stadia because they funded the games. Just little throwaway news, but figured, hey, Stadia's getting exclusive games.
Yeah.
Anybody? No. Oh,
nah.
Y'all all on Game Pass and xCloud. Oh, okay.
Yeah, them are gonna be on Epic by summer. They'll be alright.
There are
Google
people
Glass.
literally on my front porch right now trying to beat down my door to tell me about how they got into Google Glass, Google Wave, and how they can't wait for the latest from Stadia.
Wow.
Stadia? Nope.
I'm pretty sure it was that. Wait, what was the new game developed? Was it like an updated version of like Tetris?
So
was it like a new Pac-Man game?
Death
You bought
Carnival.
Stadia on purpose?
Death Carnival, Figment, Creed Valley, Nanotel, Typing Chronicles. Hold on. Like, there's probably
Okay, shout out to Mavis Beacon. They trying to come for your crown.
It's something in the Wild Mass. I can't see it. It's on top of
It sounds
Dark
like
Side
it sound like
Detective.
really great games for like the iOS and Google Play Store. Like, I mean, no shade, but
But see, they're indie developers.
Maybe it's a little bit of shade.
They're indie
tiny
developers, dog. Like,
but I'm like, Stadia? No.
they're indie devs, man. Come on.
Stadia? That's not how to go.
They're indie devs. Look.
Hey, go to Epic.
Wow.
Get the big split. Trust me, you'll be better off.
Google Glass, though. I actually have a poster where Google Glass came to, like Google came to like to Durham a few years ago. They were trying to do like these city tours. They were like make it out to multiple cities, and Durham was the first one. I waited in line, got to test out Google Glass, got a poster for it, hung it up with the rest of my art, but we didn't hang it up right, so the frame just fell off the wall, smashed into pieces.
An omen.
Yeah, it makes me sad. It makes me sad. I said, damn.
It was an omen. It was a sign of what's to come.
Damn surprised the Min is a 780. I thought it would have been a bit higher than that. Yeah, those specs for Cyberpunk was pretty impressive for what they're trying to do.
It was like, but you better take the requirements with a grain of salt. That's what I'm just letting you know. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be surprisingly easy and thing, but it's gonna, kind of take them requirements with a grain of salt.
I feel like we're PC gamers, like know if you have the minimum, it's not going to look like what you've been seeing in all these demos. It's just like, okay, it won't crash when I try to run it. I'll take that.
You'll be like, yeah.
I'm so interested in the concept that Stadia was going for, but Google just doesn't feel like it's hitting that. But yeah, it's not. I don't know. Maybe they'll be the number 2 console though when Sony falls off though. Google's going to start buying developers. Google's going for Ubisoft.
Yeah. I can see that. Now I think about it. Now that you mention that, I can see that.
Speaking of cloud gaming, in-home death company Amazon, makers of indoor drone technologies, or just drone technologies inside and out, is getting into cloud gaming. Their rumored cloud gaming platform. I tried to power through that, but just watching it fall away.
You can't get through it. Sid is gone.
Y'all got it. It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Sid's like, I'm out.
Amazon's long rumored cloud gaming platform is finally a reality with Luna. In a press release, Amazon confirmed.
They named this after like a tea flavor for taking a nap. Why? Cause
y'all sleeping on Amazon.
Don't sleep.
We're not sleeping on Amazon because we have to buy our bits from them. I'm just like, Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
You literally own the whole Twitch platform. What are you doing?
Yes,
What
using the powers of
are you
AWS.
doing?
You can play games like Resident Evil 7, Control, and games. Oh my God, Ubisoft is just in bed with everybody.
I mean,
Well,
do you have a
see,
thing I could put a
Kevin,
game
I
on?
saw you. Kevin, I saw you. I just want to say
Actually,
that.
you know
I
what?
saw you.
You know what? I just realized what I said. I just realized what I said. How do I go on a timeout from here? I need to.
can you time yourself out? My man just be like, yo, what made you think? What made you rethink his life choices? You know.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Had a flashback thinking about your life.
So sorry. So sorry about that.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
He's like,
oh man. I'm gonna take.
Like it missed me. It missed me. It was like, wait a second.
It hit me like I hit it. I was like, I mean.
I was about to say it, and then Kevin said it, and I'm just like, I see you, but I'm not gonna say anything because we're not trying to derail today. But here we are.
See, that's the thing. Like when you pointed it out, because I didn't see him, I didn't think about it. But when you said it, I said, "Oh wait, it was something." Oh shit! No.
Like slow motion. No.
Oh boy, Ubisoft, we were cool, man. We were cool.
I'm down to 3 Ubisoft games. I'm down to 3 Ubisoft games at this point.
I was in Division, but I'm out of that. The only thing I'm waiting for now is just Watch Dogs.
Yeah. Basically, I have said Division because the clan. And Anode because city builders, and Settlers because also city builders. Maybe Legion. We will see in the next generation. But that's anything else than that. I'm like, keep all that shit.
I'm just glad I've heard nothing bad coming out of that team. Like it seemed like it was all focused on Assassin's Creed. So all right, cool. I wasn't gonna play that game anyway, so
that's fine. Keep Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. But yeah. With the power of AWS, you can play games like Resident Evil 7 Control and games from Ubisoft. Ubisoft's partnership includes the Ubisoft Game Channel, which will allow players to access new titles the same day they're released. Aside from my terrible joke, which happened. Why is Ubisoft like on every platform though? Like they say, "Yo, you got a platform? Can I put a game on it? Can I get a game on it?"
No, they're literally out here on the corner with a mixtape and a moon pie. Like, would you mind?
They out there with the button-up shirt and the mixtape, and be like, "Hey, you want to buy my mixtape?" And I'm like, "Who are you?"
Yo, I'm Ubisoft, man. I got that Scott Pilgrim's coming out.
I'm like,
we put Scott Pilgrim again. Come on, man. Come on.
You know I'm good for it.
Yeah. You remember it on the 360? It was great. Come on, man.
Like, no, I don't want your collection of poems to music. Get out.
But yeah, I actually am thinking about picking up that Scott Pilgrim when it comes out too. I mean, they have here on that low key hashtag small streamers follow stuff out here. Anyway, you know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. I am. I'm behaved. I'm waiting to talk about the next topic.
Ubisoft out here saying, "Hey, I'll take some butter noodles for those games we don't play."
Not the butter noodle.
You know what? Nah, I take it. You know what? I take it back. No, actually, no. I think I did say it. I did not say Google is going to buy Ubisoft. That's exactly what's going to happen. Ubisoft is a look. You know what? Hey,
Sundar's going to be like, not in my house. All this is gone. Yeast, get out. He's putting Yeast out. He's gonna find him another French dude. He's gonna clear all that bad boy out.
Mm-hmm.
Kick rocks, Yeast. You're out.
Yeah, if we're looking for someone who's gonna buy a whole bunch of developers,
didn't know my ass.
If we're looking for someone who's gonna buy a whole bunch of developers, yeah, Google, like Ubisoft will give it up to Google or Amazon at this point. Like, Microsoft's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, Microsoft's like,
Like even Sony will look at it.
I'm checking in my savings though.
Sony will look at us and
we just bought a company. It would be kind of wrong if we bought another one so soon.
We need Ubisoft. Yeah, but we bought one just. When was the last time we bought it? When was it? It was March of 2019. Oh yeah, we too soon.
Yeah, too soon. No.
Do you have to buy the games on Amazon cloud gaming platform like Stadia? I'm curious about what's really going to be different here. So it says Luna will also include a subscription service, Luna Plus, that will cost $5.99 per month. This includes access to specific games like A Plague Tale: Innocence and The Surge 2. It will also allow players to use the service on 2 devices simultaneously and access 4K and 60 FPS resolutions for some games.
Well,
so it sounds like you are going to be buying games on that platform similar to Google Stadia.
Well, that's dumb.
Again, what would help again is with Ubisoft being anywhere and everywhere. If they allowed you to buy their games once, sign in with your Uplay account and you play it anywhere.
Yep. That's a big sigh right there.
It's for an upcoming topic, and that's all I'm gonna say about that right now.
Okay.
So let's move on to it. The Sims 4 will get 100 new skin tones in December.
Man, I'm gonna fight y'all.
How long did this shit have to take?
Not even how long did it have to take. Let's open that article real quick, shall we?
Oh yeah. Let's unpack that.
The Sims 4 will soon have an abundance of new customizable skin tones along with improved hairstyles and existing skin tones as part of this team's attempt to improve the game's representation. Criticism over its range of hairstyles and skin tones has followed the game since launch, but while the wait for improvements has been a long one, the updates sound significant, going considerably further than throwing a few more tones into the mix and calling it a day. Let's see.
So, I have feelings about this.
Go on.
Speak on it.
Not for nothing, but once again, Black women, being the wonderful creatures that they are. If you have not heard of, and there are a number of them, but the one that I've been following the most closely and have befriended on this platform is X Mira Mira, who's been out here with the work and the content and the hair and the movements and the modding communities for years and years and years.
She won the competition. She won the competition. She was on television.
They had commercials, talk shows, and everything else. Run this woman her goddamn coins already.
Ew, amazing.
It's kind of like, hey, we're releasing textures. Are y'all running her money for these textures, for these hairstyles? Are y'all doing anything for the communities that she's led and been a part of and been a heavy influence for, or the people that they've inspired to also mod and create content so that people other than white people could be properly represented in the Sims in all of their different flavors? years of content, hundreds of hours worth, a YouTube channel, a Twitch channel, partnership, the whole 9 yards, the flying, the promoting, the panels, the everything else. When are y'all going to give this woman her props? When? At what point is this happening?
Surprised we ain't got no.
Literally just hire her, write her a proposal, make sure it has a bunch of zeros and commas and everything else on it, and say, this is what we will just pay you for a year to continue doing what you have already done. As a matter of fact, you can consider this part back pay. Please continue to make content for this platform. Run these black creators their money, because if it weren't for them out here putting in the work and y'all not paying them any money or attention for that matter, y'all wouldn't have this release to make, because y'all weren't going to do it.
Same thing with me. Same thing with Mira. Same thing with Ebonics. Like, just holding it down.
Can you run those links in the chat? I'm getting X Mira.
I'm trying to remember
if you're not already following them.
I'm gonna need y'all.
Just listen. Upgrade your life. Upgrade your life. Moisture. Like, consider this part of your skincare routine. It refreshes your pores. It will actually grow extra hair if you do not have any. That type of thing. It increases your health. It lowers your blood pressure. Like, right, you feel the energy coming straight from the core of Wakanda to your living room. Go and follow these people.
That's right. Drink the water. Exercise. It's good. Do good things for your soul, including following X Mirror. Go ahead and do that.
See, THC says, I want to make comments about Sims 4, but I'm out here thinking about how it's taken WoW till its next expansion is similar updates to their race customization. The only difference is what Sin's going into, where Mira and Sims community have been out here busting their asses to make people feel welcome and what should be a wholesome ass experience. Yeah, like for me, I don't even play The Sims like that, but yeah,
I do.
It's taken far too long for this shit.
It's taken way too long.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it took way too long for one, but it took way too long for what exactly? Because here's the thing too, if they have not picked up their phone or opened their email window to send a message to these people to go, how do we credit you for this? How do we get you involved in this? How do we make you the main voice that we listen to about this? Yeah. They're getting side-eye for me, because at the most, what you're going to get is, once again, we were the whole culture, the blueprint, and everything else, and y'all went, this part was cool to copy, so we're going to go ahead and borrow that real quick.
Y'all literally have the ability to tap into your into your community, where your community is is one of the most vocal, consistent communities out here in the gamosphere is the Sims community. And to basically hear what your community is asking of you and saying, like, can we have this? And for y'all to constantly say no, and then the community being like, okay, bet, I'm gonna make my own. To be able to make the experience in your game better, then you can make your experience better. And I'm not saying like light modding. I'm like, yeah, mods happen. But if you have to mod something that should be in your game that people are asking for, i.e. the hairstyles, i.e. the skin tones, i.e. the makeup textures, i.e. the clothing, to have that, and have your community to make that on its own
over multiple years and over multiple versions. She's not. It's not like this is the first time this happened. This isn't new. This has been like an ongoing, quiet underground thing that has become so big a deal now, because we're starting to see more representation across the board for people of color, for Black people, and for Indigenous people, right? We're starting to see so much of that is literally making it into news on BBC, for fuck's sake. Like at what point do these people who are just like, Well, I mean, because it feels like this every time something like this in gaming happens. Well, I mean, the people who care about this and have passion enough for the game have spent so much time modding our fucking game that we finally decided to just make it main content. But we never managed to make the attribution back to the people who forced our hand to do that in the first place by their sheer, like, passion and force of will and fortitude to continue making these things because they wanted a world that they could see themselves in. When T-Pain is literally like, thank God people like X-Beer exist because now I could at least have my hairstyle in this game.
Right. Because I'm like, why can't this every so often just release a pack, not so much a pack, release updates with more hairstyles, with more options? Because again, we know that we know they're like, well, we want to make money. Yeah, your business, you want to make money, it's fine. But add features into the game that keeps people playing the game, because specifically when your community is telling you, hey dude, we want this and we don't feel but we don't feel like comfortable that we're going to get that, so we're going to make that on our own, that we have to constantly fight every day, every update, do we have to fight the updates to make it happen instead of it just being in the game itself. Like,
because friendly reminder here, it's not like they're adding 6 skin tones. It's not like they're adding a pack of 16. It's literally 100. 100.
Yes, 100. It's like, that's like they just had to go. They just had to go to the back catalog and just be like, "Here you go. Brr. Here's we've been saving up." I'm just like so like irritated, but I'm just so irritated about that. Like, and to have to like buy and then have to buy into packs to get hairstyles when it shouldn't be like hairstyles shouldn't be like, you shouldn't have to pay for hairstyles. You should be like, hairstyles should just come as they come, Like, why do we gotta pay? Like, I understand if it's like content, like clothing, clothing, sure, game mechanics, sure, different settings and locales, that's fine. But like hairstyle, that's what we're paying in on. I can't use that hairstyle because that hairstyle is in this thing, in this pack. Oh, I can't use that hairstyle because that hairstyle's in that pack. So it's kind of like, it's not. It's both anti-consumer and dumb at the same time. It's like, no, it's just, And then when they did, and I like to give them props when they do good things, but I also want to let people know, when they do things or they do things late, I want that to be known too, because I'm like, yes, you did good things by releasing the skin tones. Yes, you did good with the pack about the different sizes and body types, and I get that. That was great too. That allowed me, because I was like, finally I can make a Medea sim, because I couldn't make a Medea sim without the body types, without the specific body types. So now I can make Medea. So it's just so odd and it's just so odd and weird that it took so long for the community, for after the community has been saying for years and iterations to get something. Now here it is, because we need to be on the news. Here it is. We gave you what you asked for, so here it is.
One, I am glad that it is free. They're not charging for it. Two, a Medea sim.
Yeah, I made a Medea sim.
You know what?
It's one of my. When I showed her off, it was like one of like, everybody was like, oh my god, because I did a whole thing where it was like, I made a whole Medea like family. So of course I make the male protagonist, the kids, and yeah.
So the light skinned dude with no shirt.
Yeah, black skinny dude with no shirt. That's what I did.
Just straight up cut.
Yeah, just no shirt. Like one of his outfits is just him in jeans, no shirt. That's it. And I was like, bro.
Oh my god, I can't.
Can't be a Tyler Perry male protagonist with a shirt on. Can't do it.
I can't. So yeah, this is coming out in December. No specific date was mentioned when this will be available. That's it for games. On some streaming news, hey, if you got one of those fancy new Nvidia cards, Nvidia's broadcast app apparently helps do a lot of things. Like they covered it back at their announcement stream that they did for the new cards. Be it as a bokeh, they rolled in RTX voice with it. So yeah, if you got one of those fancy cards, you want to get into streaming, you know, make things look amazing, and you don't have the money. Well, if you spent the money on the card, so you definitely can't get the camera anymore. I get that.
Yeah.
So if you have the RTX voice, they came out with that like a while back, and we were playing around with that and testing them and all this other stuff, and had Kevin over here clapping and playing a whole tambourine like 2 feet from the microphone. Couldn't hear anything. It was kind of nice. And that kind of leaves me with, I know that if you do go and if you had the RTX voice before and you download the broadcasting software, they have bundled that in there, so it'll just go, I'm just going to uninstall this one standalone thing and merge it into the rest of this. So I appreciate that small detail, but I'm kind of curious about what that's going to look like, because listen, your boy over here broke .tm and is like, we're not buying this green screen. Like I have this much space. I have like this much space and maybe this much money. We're not doing all that. So having a program that could possibly do that in the same way that things like Zoom or Skype do is probably going to be really interesting for adding that little bit of extra if you have your graphics cards and stuff that can handle it. Because honestly speaking, the people who wanted to buy green screens and those expensive cameras probably just bought really expensive computers so they could play games in the first place.
I mean, you know, some of us sold houses, you know, because couldn't afford it any other way.
You didn't sell like your house so you could get this computer.
Well, no, the computer was already here. It was just the camera. It was only the camera.
Computer was a lock. It was just kind of like, I'll get the camera in the meantime.
That took several years. The computer came when my son came. Instead of saving money for a child, I bought a computer instead.
Nice.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't father or husband of the year. Thank you. That's why I bought t-shirts to make myself feel better about that. So that's it for streaming. Update time. Of course, again, if you bought one of those new fancy graphics cards, the 3090 was released today too. Didn't cover that because we covered the 3080. 30 series cards are here. There we go. We get it. But if you did manage to get one of those newfangled cards, there's a new Nvidia driver for you, or for technically everybody. But hey, get those fresh new drivers for your brand new card. There is a Catalina update for Mac. There is an iOS and iPadOS update out as well. Apparently, and I wanted to highlight the iOS one specifically, because apparently one of the big features that was in iOS 14 was the fact that you can set default apps. So instead of using Safari, you can set Chrome or Firefox as your default browser in your phone. And instead of the Mail app, you can set Gmail or any other email app as your default Mail app.
Okay, can we just talk about this for a second? Android people are insufferable, okay? Listen, yes. I am a person who, generally speaking, in the way that I experience computer systems or phones, have been relatively system agnostic. I just pick up a system and I'm like, I can see these things. This stuff is cool. This stuff not so much. And kind of take it or leave it, because each of these things has special things that they do. I like Android because they're so customizable. You can tinker with stuff. You can do stuff with things that are quote unquote experimental or unauthorized a lot easier than you can on an iPhone.
Right.
That's just the nature of how they work, and that's how they're built and all this stuff and stuff. That being said, for a lot of reasons, I have an iPhone. I use a Mac at work. I use a PC at home. I have been on a PC for a while. I just change context a lot. So, all of that to say, boy, when this iOS 14 rolled out, and they were just like, oh, so now you can add like the weather app to the screen or whatever, and it's like, none of this is groundbreaking, innovative news. We literally were just able to swipe one screen to the left, and we had all of these here, and that was customizable. What are you talking about? But you can put that on your home screen. If you don't throw yourself in the wood chipper, you're out of here.
It's really dumb, like the arguments they've been making for that. Luckily, I don't follow or associate with people who are, like they don't participate in these wars anymore. Console, phone, none of that bullshit.
None of it.
However, we do acknowledge, okay, yes, Android had this first. However, what I think it was MKBHD who said Android will get it first, but iOS will have it last.
That's 1000% true.
And I mean, it's one of those things where I could understand it if these were like groundbreaking, cutting edge technology stuff, but y'all are literally talking about things like
widgets,
the swipe keyboard, the ability to add a rectangle that takes 1/3 of your screen to tell you the current time. Like, y'all, I don't care. I really don't. Like, it's just a different way of operating things. Cool, we have these options. They're entirely cosmetic options. These are not things to be on the hill of superiority and die on. They absolutely aren't.
No.
And it's kind of like the people who are just like, I have a PlayStation. Well, I have an Xbox. Well, that means you clearly we are part of the PC master race. Y'all just play your games. Like, all of this is on the cloud anyway. You have Steam on all of these devices anyway. Calm your nerve.
But when you run out of storage, where you gonna go then?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, if you want to know what's going to happen if I have to upgrade this computer, I can buy one part. If you have to upgrade that PS5, you have to buy a whole new one. So,
right.
Throw it out, buy a whole new one.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not really even that phased of even like worry about like storage. I mean, it's disappointing, but I'm not phased by it because most of what I play is on the PC and Switch. So it's like I ain't really all that phased by it, to be honest.
It's not so much. For me, going back to that conversation, for me, it's not so much just the inconvenience of it. It's because I'm a big fan of storage.
Right.
Like, my PC, the one that I'm using currently, has 17.5 terabytes of storage. And I'm about to upgrade some shit on my server. Like, once I get to a point for that one.
Mm-hmm.
I love having all of this storage space, and the way it's being set up with Xbox One X or with Xbox Series X, especially, is really bothering me because like that's just too expensive just to get more storage.
Yeah.
But just the mechanism of it all is what bothers me, not necessarily like, oh, it costs too much. But yeah,
because I was like, I ain't buying it. I wasn't gonna buy it anyway. But yeah, just as you say, that's just too damn much. I wasn't gonna buy it because I was gonna play maybe 3 or 4 Xbox games on it anyway. Yeah. But still, it's kind of dumb. But okay.
But yeah, so with this update with 14.0.1, one of the features that was on 14 was the fact that you can set default apps. Yes, something that you could do on Android, but it's whatever. We're here now. Apparently, when you set a default app on iOS 14 and you rebooted the phone, the change reverted back to default.
Oh.
So 14.0.1 fixes that problem. So that's the main reason why I picked this one up out of all the other updates.
All right.
Let's see. So go ahead.
And quick thing wasn't like, and I'm not really sure for sure, but wasn't like people iPhone people going off for an app drawer Was it an app drawer that they just put on it, or am I just?
Kind of.
Yeah, they straight up put one on there. So if you swipe over to the right, it just has like this list of little things, and it's kind of like, yo, that's too much. But whatever's happening over there.
I'm literally like saying to myself, like, y'all are hot for an app drawer.
Wait,
like
they were angry? Like hot as in angry?
No, I mean like people
No,
like
as in like they are just very, very much like, please give this to us and read it to us in ASMR into the microphone. We need it.
Yes. I'm so glad they did provide that. Oh my god, because I did not want all of my fucking apps on one fucking screen. It's crazy. Can I hide some of the shit, please and thank you?
Yeah. Because it was like, what?
Okay, so I mean, I'll just go ahead and tell you, I for sure was one of these people who I had, I would call it like a little bento box or whatever, but it would straight up just be like, I don't really need or want these apps on the screen. So I would just put all of them into that one little thing and just be like, okay, well, now it's in that little bento box, and now I don't have to do that. Yeah, that's kind of nice.
The better option. It is so amazing. When I updated my wife's phone to iOS 14, the first thing I did was take all her extra pages and hid them. The apps are still there, and that's another thing too. You can actually hide those pages, so you don't have to do like a mass delete of those apps off the home screen. I took all those pages and I hid them, so it's only one screen of apps. It's like, look, if you want any of the other ones, I don't even know what's on this first screen, but if you want any of those other apps, swipe it to the right. Wait, no, swipe left. Excuse me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would be terrible at Tinder. So yeah, bug fixes for iPad and iOS 14. Speaking of Bethesda and Microsoft and all the things they're doing, Doom Eternal is coming to Game Pass next month. So, I mean, already paying dividends.
Yep, already
paying dividends.
Already. One on the board.
Why are y'all messy like this?
TG, my 2070 Super should hold me over for so long. I just love seeing the upgrades I might pick up in a few years get cheaper because the new big card is there. Yeah, again, I've been saying it, and I know all the tech YouTubers have been saying it. If you have a 20 series card, please don't upgrade. There's no need. Don't do it.
No, I mean, it's the thing where so this computer that I have has a Ryzen 20 something in here. And I only got that like last year around like October or November or some change. It's one of those, I haven't even had this thing for a year. There's no reason for me to upgrade that for at least another 2. Y'all will be fine.
Yeah,
you'll be good.
And this, like, especially if you're trying to do things for like whatever this stuff is with like Nvidia and the voice stuff, they recommend the specifications they have are for things that are like several years older than this computer that I'm using and the parts I'm using here right now. So y'all are if you bought a computer in the last year or so, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be great.
They saying like if you bought a 2080 Ti within the past couple of months, you were an idiot, but. Outside of that,
okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now. We already had that podcast and we told y'all not to do it. So if you didn't listen to episode 5 last season, that's your fault.
We told you. We warned you. We told you. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Now we got to be out here putting ourselves in boxes and feel better about people in the other box.
I mean, is THC incorrect? The survey says no.
I mean, yeah, I built my Apple ecosystem. But I built it within a bigger ecosystem. I like to think that at any time I could easily leave, but I won't.
You ain't going nowhere.
like the fact that I can look at Stadia.
They got you and you got them. It's fine.
The fact that I can
love each other.
The fact that I can look at Stadia, xCloud, GeForce stuff. It's like, yeah. That Pixel 5 looking real nice. Oh, come on, iPhone 12 Pro. Thank you so much.
Let's go.
a mess. I love y'all, but y'all are entirely a mess.
Oh,
Facts.
Fortnite? Okay. All right. So just stick over to Windows. It's fine. Everything's okay here.
Mm-hmm.
I can still play Fortnite on my MacBook. I just have to put Windows.
Yeah, I can play it on my. I can.
Y'all are such a God. Get out of here, both of you.
Y'all, let's get out of here. Y'all, it's been a pleasure once again. Tech Talk Thursdays for November 24th, 2020.
Did you say November 24th?
Man, it's quarantine content. I don't know what day it is.
Come back to September 1st. We need to let's get through.
Do you remember the 24th night of September?
Nope, I don't. I don't. I mean, technically, is it like based off of the name November? Is it November like technically the 9th month? I don't know who fucked this shit up for the rest of us.
Okay,
I mean, October means 8, Sept means 7.
But see, here's the other thing too. I'm still like in iffy territory about the first week of November. So let me get through that part first, then we'll figure out how we feel about the 24th of that.
Yeah, you're right.
If we could just get through October, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Oh boy. Yeah, so thank you for tuning to Tech Talk Thursdays for September 24th, 2020.
I love it so much.
This show's been a complete fucking mess. But the right type of mess, not like last week's mess where we talked for 5 minutes. We were just fucking muted.
Yep. Had to redo the intro.
So this is already a better show.
It is.
Saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Shouts out to KKS Gaming. Shout out to Ciniac. Thank you, gentlemen. Anything you like to plug going into the week or the weekend and then following week? I'm saying.
No, not much really. Just wash it. Just wash your hands and
WatchOS 7.
Yeah, just wash your hands and wear a mask. Be safe and arrest the murderers of Breonna Taylor.
Somehow I feel like that ship
And
sailed.
and we must protect Black women. That's another thing I meant.
Yeah,
I always in my streams every morning I say Black Lives Matter and we must protect Black women, and that's it. Every day.
That's the whole message, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the whole ball game. It's the whole thing. I mean, my mama's a Black woman, so I want her to be protected as much as anybody else. My mama's a Black woman. My boo loves are Black women. My god baby is a little tiny mean ass Black woman, but 4 years old, mean as hell, but I love her. She's a Black woman. I want her to be protected too. So yeah, protect Black women. That shit is important. And any person that does not want to protect Black women are unlotioned, and they must seek moisture where they seek moisture. That's what they are. The unlotioned, the unsullen, the unlotioned. That's what they are.
They are They are dwellers in the sunken place.
Mm-hmm.
So
firmly
lodged, along with Terry Crews, in the sunken place.
To the sunken place.
With Terry Crews.
So
yes,
I don't have anything to. I don't have anything to plug except for wash hands, wear your mask, 2-factor authenticator, everything. And as a thought, this
Oh
week,
crap! Whoa, boy, what'd I do?
y'all,
Oh, you can see the
listen.
just see my desktop spot.
I'm not going to tell you to check in on anybody. I'm not going to tell you to read anything. What I'm going to tell you is all the Black friends that you have, if you do not have them, make some. All of them are already telling you what they need. Please do not ask them. Please do not DM them. Let them grieve. This week has been hell. And then after that, like, just send them money spontaneously. Like, support their content. Like, if they're out there making things, buy their stuff. Like,
you
amplify their.
Remember what y'all doing in June?
Amplify their voices, right? Even wait. Even if no one tells you to, especially if no one tells you to, just make that a part of your everyday routine.
Yeah. Be like,
We're not going anywhere in spite of people trying their damnedest. So
not going no damn where. I know. Not going nowhere. Love it here. Ain't going. Wait, what you talking about? Not to where. Like,
you said not one, not a single where.
Not nan where. I would say my body's like nan. Be like, not nan where. Not nan. I'm going nowhere. Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? I love it here. I got house.
It's pandemic. I ain't going nowhere. Be right here.
I ain't going nowhere. There's a pandemic. Ain't going nowhere.
Right here. Right here.
Child, if there weren't, okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to stop y'all right there. Listen, if this were not a pandemic, I would literally be in Spain. I don't have time. Like, I'm not trying to deal with y'all. I'm trying to be out of here. I would be on vacation because I need a vacation from y'all. You're being ridiculous.
Wow.
But since I have to stay here, y'all need to act right.
I would be on a cruise doing a conga line right now.
Nah, I think I'd still be here. I'd still technically be here. It's like, nah, I ain't going nowhere. People ain't crazy.
You talking about now?
Even not in the pandemic, they still here killing black folk. I'm good, right here.
The realness on that, though.
Yeah. So yeah, again, thank you so much. Again, yes, Black Lives definitely matter. Again, just me being here. I don't need the hashtag. I don't need to change my name on damn Twitter. I'm right here. This should be enough for you. My black life fucking matters.
That's right. Like me, my black life matters.
Exactly.
If you don't think my black lives matters, get the fuck off my off my channel.
Peace out.
Get the fuck out.
Also, apparently there seems to be a rash of the racist version of mansplaining, which is like whitesplaining.
Yep.
When white folks are slipping into my mentions and trying to explain shit to me, like I'm out here living this shit.
I'd be like, let me stop you right there, player.
Let's not do that.
No.
Let's not do that.
What you're not gonna do is this. This is not what you is like. This is like this. Answer what you not gonna do. That's the answer to the question.
Hold on. I'm going to use my little clicker right here. Yes, Alex, I would like to take... can I please have what we not been to do for 400, please?
Yes.
This.
Yep, that. Alex said, I said, what is this?
That's correct, then. That's a daily double.
That's a daily double for your ass right there.
80 ass sound fucking files and shit. Yeah, so cut the shit out with the fucking white splaining, please. Like, what the fuck?
Hey.
What are we doing? What are we doing here? To bring back something again. Another thing we're going to bring back from June and July, where it's just random showering of money, because yes, you should definitely support us and stop fucking ignore us and help us secure a bag that we should have been doing from the beginning. But yeah, y'all have just been, y'all were too busy not seeing color. Another thing I'm going to bring back from June and July is shut the fuck up and listen when we tell you what to do, damn it. Shut the fuck up.
actually considering our feelings and emotions for once, and then being like, I'm just gonna leave you alone, my people. You know, I'm just gonna let you.
So on a real note, while we're here, right? Yeah. It's the simple thing, and I say simple, not easy, but a very simple thing, which is this. You know, when I talk to Linux and Kevin here, right? When we're talking about things, we come to each other as intellectual equals. I assume that they are intelligent people who know exactly what they mean when they say things to me, and they assume the same about me when I say things to them. If I tell you I am tired, that means I am tired. If I have decided to talk about one thing and not the 100 things around it, that was the one thing I wanted to talk about. I am still aware of all the another 99 things I didn't mention. But you want to know what? Today is Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I have had to read about another black body falling to the ground with no one to claim it, and I have not had my coffee yet. I think you can give me a little bit of reprieve for the other 99 things that I still have to grieve over that I didn't mention today.
Mm-hmm. And a fucking global pandemic.
So
so you like, maybe I'm thinking maybe this is not the best time to come into my mentions and try to tell me
with the nonsense, right? Like, I'm not a 5-year-old throwing a tantrum. Mm-hmm. I am literally 38 and thinking about how that really could have been my mom, my sister, my brother, my roommate, some random person at the store, the lady who drives my bus or whatever, and none of it would have mattered no matter what we did, because people will literally just come up with reasons why we shouldn't be here. And on the heavier topics this week, I would like everybody to be aware of and consider that the only thing that the people were charged for that were involved were you were shooting recklessly and you could have hurt the neighbors. It was more important to assess property damage than to deal with this dead person. So, maybe don't.
In only the white neighbor, because they hit multiple apartments.
Mm-hmm. They was just that capping. I mean, capping hard. Like, that's what?
But
yeah. I've seen better no-knock warrant raids in the episode of Blue Bloods. You mean to tell me television is better than actual police are? Huh? At getting criminals off the street?
Acting requires a certain level of ethics and responsibility, and they also have to be accurate.
Yeah.
They have to be accurate. I'm like,
I mean, it is scripted. It is scripted.
You mean you didn't have so y'all didn't have a plan? I thought that's what people had when they had plans. Accountability, you know? More accountability in the fucking episodes of in the fucking episode of Magnum PI than in fucking real life. I mean, I'm just saying, it's a little weird that, you know, okay. I mean, you're right, THC, but damn, still, come on. It's like, well, damn. Come on.
Well, on that note, it's real. Thank you all for joining us for yet another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. Of course, you guys could have been anywhere in the world watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech news yourself, but no, you chose here to get this level of truth. From our brothers, KKS Gaming, Zenimax, and myself, thank you all so much for tuning in. Of course, all I've got left to say to one of people is I love you. And peace out.
Wakanda forever. Yibambe!